Eric and the guys have completed the steel work down in the base of the footing, and it's really large and strong looking. I'm very happy about that. The next part that I'm gonna do is build a square plywood box that will be the form for the part of the column that actually sits on the footing. And it's all gonna get poured together at one time, so it has to be suspended above the footing with some stakes and some braces, and it also has to be precisely located. Since I'm getting to a part of this job that needs to be a little bit more precise, I am going to build some batter boards so that I can move my string back and forth instead of having it just attached to a metal peg on each end, because there's really no way to make fine adjustments when a string is just hooked to a metal peg, all right? I need something where I can move it over an eighth or move it back or back and forth. All right, that's not terribly bad, so.
Jamie and Jono have these string lines pulled accurately across the top of our batter boards here, or so they say. And now we can place some framing that's gonna go across the footing that will be the outside edge of our formwork for our pier that's gonna come up through our slab. So that's the next step. We're ready for our forms on this footing and that footing, and that was a lot of work. My back is killing me.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. I was thinking, oh, we got a big trackhoe, dig some holes, no problem. No.
And it looks like Jamie's got all of these footings now drawn into the SketchUp plan, the master plan of this house. What can you tell me about these?
Well, I can tell you these things look huge because they are, but also I'm really trying to visualize what's gonna happen where the post framing that sits on top of the pier. So that pier that we're building the form for is right here. And then we have wood framing above that going up to the bottom of the deck. Now right here, this intersection I don't love right now. We have a giant laminated treated beam, and then we have standard 2x10 joists butting into that. And you can see I have my posts just ending out here in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know how we're gonna do this yet because I don't love this. I'll get it in the screen here someday. This right now is not looking good to me, and we need to figure out a way to flash it all. That's really what it comes down to for me. I'm thinking ahead about the flashing and the finished surfaces on these columns and the decking all meeting there, and how to make it waterproof to where water never goes in the column to rot it out.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that the way he's got it drawn here, there will be sheathing and siding, so it'll be like a closed-in column. It'll look like a little miniature skyscraper. That's what we're building, skyscrapers right now.
It is. This
little mini ones.
It is. That's a good way to put it.
The guys have got a lot of these pieces cut now, so I'm gonna start assembling. We're gonna put the coated side in because I think the concrete is less likely to stick to that than to this side, not sure really. And we're just gonna use a finish nailer to tack everything, and then we'll come back and add some screws or something. So here we go. Now I'm going to show you guys how to disassemble one of these, because these were supposed to lap on the outside edges of the end. And I didn't check that first. It's no big deal. Yep, so that's how you disassemble one. Let's start over.
John, you got pliers right there.
Miss, son of a cut. Jamie said I just built a subwoofer box, but yeah, you're actually right. Listen to this.
I mean, based on the frequencies that I'm hearing right now, I think we may have just found like a golden ratio here of subwoofer. Let's see what kind of tones we're getting here. Oh, dude, that thing is hammering hard at 40 hertz.
40 hertz, is that good?
Yeah, that's like the low end of a kick drum, like on a drum kit.
Yeah.
That's the bit you feel.
Oh, like in your chest. Then.
Yeah. We've got marks here where the outside surface goes, and if we bump this over, it should be like squared up and everything, because the way we installed these square to the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It should be.
Okay. I'm good there.
That's good. Now we need to lift it up off of the steel down here.
We've got this first box suspended at the right height so that the footing will be right flush with the bottom. Then we're gonna set up a laser and cut all these the same height at the top, I think is the plan. We might also add a brace, because right now,
it's a
like
little,
to the side.
We could probably cut one in between that batter board.
Bottom of the stick.
Yeah. That's the slab height. So we're gonna come up a foot from that.
Okay.
I was thinking we could pour this without a pump for the concrete.
Yeah.
But dude, there's no way a concrete truck is gonna get around that to get here.
Probably not.
It's like probably a full yard of concrete in each one.
At least.
Maybe more. There we go, the top is cut off at the right height. Maybe you could tell everybody, why did we decide to mark it and cut it off in place instead of just putting it at the right height to start with?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. The reason is it's really difficult to get it oriented in 3 different axes all at once. It's near impossible. You'd have to just fidget, so that we broke it down now into orienting it level, and then after that, a second step, getting the height correct. So it's a lot easier and we can get it more accurate, like the first shot.
I think it's less stressful too. I think it's a good way to go.
Yep.
Axis is the word?
Yeah, it's what they used to cut down trees a long time ago.
Maybe it's axes. I don't know.
Axes?
Dude,
That's possessive.
Don't matter.
I don't know.
Hey, if you're interested in supporting us and getting some cool stuff, Ray is modeling all the stuff we have for sale here. We've got merch for sale. There's a link for that. We've got tool belts, and they come with the suspenders and all the stuff you see on Ray here. They're awesome, minus the Diamondback pouch, which he added to his. We also sell our own pouches, so thanks for that, Ray.
Yeah, I didn't.
You just blew the whole thing.
Sorry.
Well, if you thought we were done with these, you're wrong. Unfortunately for us. We've got to add steel now that goes down our columns and ties out into the mesh of steel below. And I think we'll do 4 or maybe even 6 of those, Ray, per. Start with 4 and then let's look at it.
It's turning into like building these walls with all those forms, man.
Jason and I are basically having to make out to make this work with tying the steel inside these things. So that's what's going on here.
And I didn't want to say anything, but dude, you smell really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what you're wearing, but it's driving me crazy.
Man.
Hey. Could be worse, I guess. I've never had that happen at work.
Come on, I'm flustered now. Give me the other half of that.
These guys are jumping over here to start putting up these batter boards, these horizontal pieces. And they did something smart, which was to mark all the stakes with the elevation of the slab. So maybe we can skip a step over there. We just didn't have the laser yesterday.
Well, we learned how stupid it is to have all of our boards at a different elevation and slanted. But like you said, we just didn't have the tools to do it right the other day, so we did it.
Jono and I were able to get a labyrinth of supports for our forms put in pretty quickly over here because we've just done it a few times, so we know all the numbers are just memorized. Now we're ready to start setting these forms in, and I got to redig a little bit of this one. Evidently, I went that way with the footing. I should have gone that way, so we got to dig back to like right there. We got to move all these cars. We got to drive the machine back down the hill. Ah! We got our footing elongated, our steel fixed up to run all the way to the end, and now Jamie's showing me pictures of windmill foundations.
Okay, windmills that make electric energy, you know, from the wind. These foundations seem kind of big and crazy to us, but you know, this ain't nothing. This is nothing compared to like a real pier foundation.
Look at that guy. He's like, what am I doing here? Where's my help?
Dude, there is so much steel and concrete in those, I can't even believe it. I can't get over it.
Okay, you lift it up to where you think it's the right height at the bottom.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I can't see the line, but
You're on it. Okay.
okay, now we got a level. All right, you tell me up or down.
Whoa, you're going too much. Down a little. It's terrible jumping down in here.
Yeah, it's very hard. Ugh. I can't see your line, so.
Okay, you just hold it level.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on it. All right guys, today's video sponsor is AG1. I'm gonna mix up a drink right now. It's a great way to give yourself some extra energy, feel good, get 75 extra vitamins, nutrients, and just feel better. I always have more energy. Usually I take it in the morning, but today I forgot.
I was about to say, I didn't know if you knew, you're supposed to take it in the morning before you've had anything else in your stomach. I had mine this morning already.
We're gonna be doing this a little different. I'm gonna use the water pressure method to mix it up. Basically, in one scoop that size, you're gonna get all that extra stuff in your body. And it actually does not taste like broccoli as opposed to what a lot of people might think. It actually's got like a semi-sweet taste. I mix it thicker than it says. I go probably half the water.
I do too, actually.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, like, that looks great to me. Give that a swirl. Put her down. So this is a great and easy routine to get you what you need, especially if you got nutrition gaps and like eat fast food a ton, you're on the road, and you want to get those extra vitamins, minerals, nutrients. So if you want to try AG1 for yourself, I'd really recommend it. If you use the link in our video description, you'll get 5 free travel packs. You can throw them in your suitcase when you're on the road, plus a bottle of their vitamin D3K2 with a little dropper. I use that as well. So make sure to click that link. Thank you again to AG1 for sponsoring our video. Let's get back to work. I gotta ask you, why are you using this all-thread rod for the hoops instead of rebar?
All right, I'll tell you why. Usually they spec 3/8 rebar for this type of a little hoop thing. I don't have any.
Oh.
So we have 5/8. I could do that. We've used half in the past, but we're all out of that. And this 3/8 is galvanized. And I don't even think that these hoops are required or anything.
But we don't need this for something else is what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't read the question right. We don't. You know, there was a time when I told Brock I need some all-thread rod.
Oh.
And he brought this here, but it wasn't the right size.
I'm just checking that
I
we're
know.
not messing something else up.
No, trust me, it's all up here.
Okay.
It's all there.
Perfect. That's your best one.
I'm pretty proud of that one. I'd be happy if they all came out like this.
Okay, I'm gonna cut off these last couple, tie a little more rebar. These things about got the best of us today. Yep.
Jamie, you want to put your hands in here? Feels like we're bobbing for twist ties in here. Dude, I gotta tie that one off. I'm afraid to go down there again.
Ray's going snorkeling down here in the bottom of the footing.
Yeah.
Trying to get tied in somewhere down there. You get it?
Yeah, I got it. All right, good job, buddy.
Oh, man. Don't stand up too quick.
I know.
No, do stand up too quick. It's awesome.
Done.
Back at the job this morning, and we're awaiting the concrete arrival to pour concrete in all these footings and piers that we've been working on the last couple days. Jamie's figured some concrete in cubic feet, and he said he's going to do it in cubic inches, but I'm not going to let him. Don't worry. I'm going to get... So, yeah, we're going to double check things and wait on this truck.
We're going to figure these in cubic millimeters now.
Ray said he went to another sheep show, but it wasn't as good.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't good as the local one. But I did see a comedian hypnotist.
How's that?
That was interesting. It was really interesting. I didn't believe in it, but now
You believe now?
I do.
Huh, interesting. All right, let's see what the comments are about that. Did you lose our Geomax?
I think you have it.
Oh.
I can't find it.
I must have it.
I hope you do.
We've got our laser level set up now, and we're just checking that the top of all these forms are the same, or roughly the same, within about a 1/2 inch is fine, since we're custom cutting all of the posts to go on them. But if we wait until the concrete's poured and then figure out these are like 6 inches different from one another because of some stupid mistake, that's bad timing to find out. How we looking?
Within an 8, which
Okay.
I think is perfectly acceptable here.
You remember that time that we did the whole foundation with the laser out of level and didn't know it till later?
Yeah, that's a good trick, right? Just kind of, you know, skewed it a little bit.
There's a reason we're double checking. Stuff has happened.
Well, these are pretty far apart. You know, you said, well, what if one is like just randomly 6 inches taller? That is possible because they're not close enough to each other to tell if they were a little bit different.
Just looking at them.
You could lay down and look.
We're moments away from getting concrete here, but we're looking at the deck framing that's going to sit on these piers, and some of it is crazy here, folks. It switches from these treated PSLs right there to 2x10s for the band over
Right
here,
there.
back to PSL,
There it is.
which is a different height, back to
Another PSL.
then back to 2x10s, but that's the same span that had the PSL. The problem is the PSLs are deeper, so the top of our posts will essentially have to have 2 different heights so that the top of the deck is flat, right?
It's gonna look silly if it's a different height band at every post.
Got the concrete going in nice and stiff for this bottom layer so that in a minute we can come back and pour these columns. They won't just push it out the bottom. You know, it really doesn't matter how smooth this is like you're doing there,
I appreciate that.
because we don't have to lay any block on it. It goes up here. I know it's just tempting to, you're still.
I know you.
This is 12 yards of concrete, which is as much as some of the houses we've done for the whole footings for the entire house. Just on this half of the porch piers, there's like this many more around the side and in the front once we get that backfilled up there.
Now it's time to start back at the beginning and fill up the little column that's inside the form.
And we need anchor bolts. I did remember to buy them. You robbing Peter to pay Paul here or what?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a circular kind of thinking. You put it in the top, it goes out the bottom, you get it again.
Okay.
I don't know.
7 more to go.
So the one thing that does matter here is that we end up flush with that. That's our height we're going for. So I'm gonna slick this off, get ready for some anchor bolts. And this doesn't have to be like really finished that nice. It's gonna get completely covered and enclosed by a wall or a column. Let's see if these anchor bolts will stand up here. Oh yeah. So we're just doing 4 of these anchor bolts. We'll basically rip a piece of 2x8 and a piece of 2x8 and make it like the full square of the size of the column. And normally you'd use brackets here, but since we're gonna have sheathing, we can nail that sheathing to this plate, which will tie the vertical part of the column to the plate, just like a bracket. And these brackets are stupid expensive too.
Don't you think we should spread these bolts a little bit closer? Well, if we put a post there, I guess that's a good, and then that's good. That's good, that's perfect where it is.
Sometimes I just gotta let Jamie figure it out on his own because he won't believe me. That is a wrap on our concrete pour here. It went really well. I'm really happy with these columns. They're gonna be strong. So tomorrow we'll be able to tear this stuff off and start building a deck. Decks, multiple.
Dude, this thing is warm. It's like, look, it's steaming.
We are back at it this morning getting these forms pulled off, and it looks like these are going to turn out nice. They've got an Advantech texture to them, and even though we didn't use form release, they're coming off nice and easy, and it even left some of the printing from the Advantech on our columns, which doesn't matter, they're going to get covered.
Those are pretty sweet columns, man. I'm a little jealous I don't have columns like that.
Let's save all these stakes for the whole front. We got to do a similar thing around the front. So we'll put them in the wheelbarrow. Yeah. We're having Jeremy walk down here with the machine so we can backfill these footings before we start setting up ladders and stuff around them, which is going to make it a lot easier. Hopefully Jamie knows he's got a trailer attached this time.
Yeah.
I think he sees it. We ordered one of the new Milwaukee cordless rammers to compact soil, but I don't have it yet. So literally today we're gonna do the old school, you know, foot rammer. Walking it in.
Pretty soft.
Pretty unfortunate.
It is. That's really sad.
Yeah. I ordered it yesterday.
We're just trying to fill these holes up flat with the existing grade, and he's filling them a little too high. You got Dr. Phil up here in the machine.
All right, cut.
You know?
Every time Jamie asks me to video him, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what's he gonna say?